What's going on, everybody? Here, and welcome to Longvinter. Some beginner tips and tricks that I wish I would have known when I first started. So, basically, I'm going to cut this video up into parts, and we're going to talk about all of the questions that we always get for every new player, because the game doesn't do a super great job of explaining everything to you, but that's okay because there's a lot to explain. Hopefully, you guys enjoy. If you do, make sure you leave a like if you're new here. Maybe consider subscribing as well for some more. So, first things first, let's talk about how to connect to a server, because I have a personal server. If you guys want to join my server, make sure you join the Discord, and in there you'll find the information for it. But if you aren't wanting to join a server, all you do is have to hit play, and what you're going to see is you're going to see a bunch of servers pop up. Now, all of these blue check marks are official servers. They range from like 26 players to 17, things like that. Now, I have heard that there are some lag issues with those. So if you want to join my personal server, again, I recommend it. We haven't had any lag issues yet. We've only had about 13 to 15 people online at a time, but everything's run smooth. But to get on a server, you essentially just look through here, find your server. Now, for me, mine's Z1 Gaming. Imagine that. And then in order to get the password, again, join the Discord. We have the password there. And the reason I have everybody join the Discord is so that way we can communicate when there's going to be server updates or when there's going to be server wipes, things like that. Now, once you join the game, you're going to get this like wonderful little how to play thing. It has all of your inputs here. Make sure you see these. Waving is super nice because like if you're running past them and you don't know who they are, you can wave at them. And usually they'll wave back so you know who people are. Sit, pick up loot, inventory, and chat. So you're going to spawn in an area similar to this area right here. You're not going to have anything on you. You're going to be like, okay, I don't know what to do. So first thing you're going to want to do is go ahead, just take a peek at this vendor here. Now, there are multiple types of vendors. There are these red machines like this that are like vending machines. And then there are green vending machines that will purchase and buy anything that you give them. Now, for the sake of just ease, I'm just going to go through this in a list. So just hang tight. Now, before we get going anywhere, there's a couple things that we want to talk about. Right here, your yellow stamina bars. These are your stamina. And it's also your health. That runs out. You die. You're not having a good time. So in order to replenish stamina, you're going to want to do a couple of things. One is if you sit by a campfire, it will regen over time. As you can see, we had a little bit and it's full. Or you can pick up berries and other foods throughout the game and eat them. However, some berries, the red berries specifically, will kill you. So don't eat the red berries. And other foods have different effects. So if you find something that does like a stamina potion or something like that, it might not necessarily give you food, but it'll give you like a perk. But we'll get into those as we come across them. So first thing you do, make sure you stay alive. Make sure you find some food, have a nice campfire, things like that. Another thing to be note, this game is a PvP game. If you go out running around, there's a good chance you're going to get shot, killed, and everything taken from you. That is part of the game. That's how the game is meant to be played. But it is still fun because without that extra challenge, you can get through everything in the game pretty quickly. Which is also why wipes are fun, because then everybody starts over. So we are in our fresh new world. We're going to go ahead. We're going to head out into the world. Now, the first thing that people always ask is like, well, how do I build this? Or how do I do this? You don't essentially build anything per se, not in the way that you're thinking. You don't like get a pickaxe. You don't like make, craft anything like that. What you do is you actually purchase stuff. Now, the way that I prefer to make money, and I think the best way to make money in this game, is basically just go around looking for things. You can see these are all player houses here. And also watch out, because if there's turrets on these player houses, they're going to shoot you and you're going to die super fast. But I typically like to just go out and look for outposts or buildings or what have you, abandoned areas. Now, while you're out running around, you probably want to go ahead and grab some bushes of berries. There's, again, different types of berries. So we've got blackberries here. We've got some berries here. These are the raspberries, and then we've got some cloudberries here. All different kinds of berries, but they give you different food buffs. So like blackberries give you plus 10 food. Raspberries give you plus 15. Cloudberries give you plus 15 as well. So good foods, but just keep those in mind. So if you're starting to run low, try to keep that topped off. So here's an example of a turret right here. If I get too close, this thing's going to start shooting me. And then I immediately take damage. And again, once you run out, you're out. So then just make sure you have food on you so that way you can heal up in case you run across any of those guys. Okay, so let's talk about looting things. So you're going to come across buildings like this, and they're going to have these crates. Now, you can walk up to them, you can click them with the mouse if you're close enough, or you can just hit spacebar, and then essentially just grab all of the loot out of here, because in the beginning of the game, you can pretty much just take everything and then sell it. Now, in these items, there are a couple different things. So like we get food, we get some seeds, a workbench, a planter box, heat pack, bread, a short gun barrel, things like that. You don't really need to focus on keeping anything. Maybe keep some of the food, but everything else you can go ahead and sell. So again, we got more crafting or more boxes here. Basically, again, I'm just gonna take everything because in the early games, all you need to focus on is getting money. Now this right here is the green vending machines. The green vending machines with the J's, you can go ahead and sell everything. So everything I don't want right now, I'm gonna go ahead and sell. And again, in the beginning of the game, pretty much just sell everything that's not gonna be like useful to you. Salt is not really worth it in the beginning of the game because that's like a crafting ingredient. You need it for food. The planter box, while it would be nice once you have a base, that would be cool. And the workbench, if you had a base, that'd be cool too. But those are good little ways to make some cash right off the beginning. So we'll just go ahead and sell that. Now, when you die, you don't actually lose any of your money. So if you're over here doing something and someone comes like running after you, just maybe try to offload all your good stuff real quick. Just try to sell it. That way, if they come over here, get you, kill you, and you drop like whatever, they didn't get everything from you. Now, as you're going along, looting and gathering things, you know, trying to progress, trying to make some money here, you're going to come across equipable items. So equipable items are guns, ammos, and I think hats and a couple other things. In order to equip an item, there's a couple tabs here. So we have our backpack equipment, and then we have the compendium. We're going to go into this in a second. But in order to equip an item, you go to your bag, you just click it once, and that's going to put it into your equipment slot. Now, you can only have one gun in here at a time, or like if you get a fishing pole, that will replace your gun. So keep that in mind. And then for ammo, I currently have some ammo, but we haven't found any yet. And it's kind of the same thing. You'll have like a little ammo thing in here. You click it, it'll go into this ammo right here, but you can only hold 100 on you. So you can see I have 56 shots right now. And in order to use this, I'm going to go ahead and right click, and that's going to bring out the gun. Now, what you got to be careful with is if you're next to one of the main outposts with the NPCs or like the vending machines and things like that, they have turrets around them. And if you pull out a gun around a turret, it will shoot and kill you. So don't pull out a gun around a turret. It's sometimes better just to unequip it. That way you can't accidentally do it. But for the sake of this, we're going to go ahead and we're going to equip our shotgun now. That way if we come across anybody, we have a fighting chance. So let's say you've done your scrapping, you've done your searching, you have plenty of money now. How much money do you really need to get to in the start? Well, the tent cost is, I believe, 600. So you need to at least get to 600. And if you don't know where Sergeant Lake's outpost is, chances are you're going to probably take a boat there, which is going to be another 200 credits. So you're looking at like maybe 800 to 1,000. But if you know where Sergeant Lake's outpost, and again, if you're on the server, if you're on our server and you just ask somebody, they'll be more than willing to help you find it, so you don't have to like pay for the boat costs. But I know where it's at. It's actually just basically right over here. But before I swim across this water, I need to go ahead and make sure my stamina is up, because when you're in water, you use stamina a lot faster. Now, I'm going to go ahead and use this blackberry jam. This blackberry jam is a food item, so you're going to see that it gives me stamina. But this right here, energy drink, it makes me move faster, but it didn't really give me any stamina. You know what I'm saying? So you kind of have to worry about that. Just make sure you're eating the right foods. Oh, we got some other players up in here. Now you can see these turrets right here. So this is relatively a safe zone. You can come in here and not really have to worry about getting shot or anything, because like I said, once you pull out a gun, these turrets right here, they will destroy you. So now let's say you have enough money, you're ready to get your home, you're ready to get established. You're gonna go into this vending machine here, you're gonna find your tent. It's $6.99. Okay, I was wrong. I thought it was $5.99. It's $6.99. You're gonna go ahead and you're gonna purchase a tent. If you have a workbench, awesome. If you need a workbench, make sure you grab a workbench here, or you can just go place your tent and come back for the workbench later. But this right here is what's gonna give you the ability to have like a safe home. And then also usually about the same time I do this, I usually try to buy a crate too, so that you can start storing some items. So let's go ahead and let's go find a nice little spot for us to set up a tent. And then we will go ahead and get that tent upgraded to a house, and I'll show you the differences between those. And then we're going to go back out and we're going to loot some more, and I'm going to talk about some better loot locations as well. So this is actually kind of funny, completely unrelated, but this is actually my main house, and I have turrets up here. Somebody unfortunately didn't make it, and now they dropped all their stuff here. So let's go ahead and I'm going to steal their chainsaw. I'm going to steal their ammo, because why not? And I'm going to take a few things out of there because, oh, there's so many backpacks. Oh, I feel almost so bad, but at the same time, like, I don't. It's free goodies. Oh, wonderful. Okay. So I'm going to head up. I'm going to find a spot for a tent. Now, a good area for a tent for me that I would consider as a first base is somewhere in a green area. The snowy area, that likes to take your health. because when you're in the snowy area, you're constantly taking damage. However, I already have a base in the green area, so I'm going to build a base in the snowy area because why not? Now, again, when you're in the snowy area, you're going to be taking a lot more health loss. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to actually use one of these heat packs. That's going to help take down that frost damage that we're taking. I'm going to go ahead and eat a bread and probably these raspberries and continue making my way over to this winter area because I have a spot in mind that I'm going to set up a tent. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to try to place my tent down like right in this area somewhere. I'm going to say that looks good. So I've placed my tent down. You cannot pick this tent back up. Make sure that wherever you place it, it's there and you know you want it there because you cannot pick this tent back up. Now, I'm going to go ahead and start a little fire here because my stamina is going down. A good little tip that I like to have is have multiple campfires ready for you. They are the matches because you can set that down literally anywhere and you can just chill next to it and you can get your stamina back. So like if you're starving to death and you don't have no food, you can always set down a campfire. It's really nice to have. Now, campfires also do go out over time, so just be warned that that campfire won't stay there forever, but it'll stay for a while. So you found your house, you found your tent, you're good to go. You're like, okay, cool. I think I know what I want to do now. Another tip that I would have is maybe find your location that you want your tent before you actually go buy the tent, because if you're running from the store to place your tent and you get killed on the way there, well, you lost your tent, unfortunately. Like, that sucks. But so you got your tent, cool. What do you do now? Well, you can upgrade it to a house. And how you upgrade it to a house is you have to have a workbench. And you're going to go ahead and place your workbench inside your house. And when you go to your workbench, you're going to see tent, 0 of 60, deposit wood. Once you deposit 60 wood, that's going to upgrade it to a house. Now, the benefits of upgrading it to a house are if I place an item outside of my house, a chest is actually really not a good example. But if I place an item outside of my tent, it's not really protected. There's no protection on it. You want to make sure you upgrade to a house first, because a house is going to give you an option to be protected, so that people can't just come over and pick up your stuff. Now, talking about picking up stuff, say I want to pick up this workbench, right? Okay. To pick up an item, you need to make sure that you don't have any equipment equipped. And you run up to an item and just right click it, and then you can just pick it up. That alone is super nice to know, because I didn't know that off the beginning. So I was using a chainsaw to cut everything down. Yeah, just make sure you don't have anything equipped, grab it, and you're good. Now, if you have something equipped, the reason it doesn't work is, so if I grab a shotgun and I try to right click something, it pulls out my shotgun. So like I can't do that, or same with a fishing pole, what have you. So that's how you pick up an item. You can do the same thing outside, but you don't want to build too much outside of your tent until you build it to a house. And I'll explain that here in a minute as well. But there we go. We got a crate. I can go ahead. I can throw some stuff in here if I want to. Fantastic. I like it. I like it. I'm going to go ahead and grab my shotgun though, because we need to be protected here. And I want to talk about better loot real quick while we're here. So to find better loot, you're going to want to go to the winter areas. And in the winter areas, this one specifically is an arena, but there's more outposts, just like the other ones we found, with crates. The ones in the winter areas usually have better gear in them, better items, and like a lot of these usually have guns in them. So like, there we go, we got a submachine gun already. That's awesome. And then look at semi-automatic rifle in that. Oh, and are you kidding me? We got Black Lotus seeds again. That's fantastic. I looked for a long time for Black Lotus seeds. I couldn't find them. So you can see like those two crates right there. I got 2 new guns. So like a shotgun, no thank you. Submachine gun, heck yes. But again, don't pull your weapon out around these turrets, because these turrets will start shooting you. It's not a good time. All right, so let's say you are ready to get your house upgraded to a tent. Say you have a hatchet or you found a chainsaw. You're ready to equip that bad boy, and you're ready to go to town to start getting your wood. Now, the only wood that you can use to upgrade a house at this time anyways is a tree like this. These little trees, these juniper trees, they unfortunately don't work. But basically, you just sit here for a while. You cut down some trees and you get a random amount of wood from like 1 to 4 logs per tree, I think it is. So like I got 1 log that time. Not super great, but you drop those into your workbench. You upgrade from a tent to a house, and now you have a house. So let's talk about building around your house real fast. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to unequip some stuff here. I'm going to unequip that. I'm going to grab this. I'm going to grab this. I'm going to grab that. Okay. So around your house, you have a safe zone. So let's talk about this wood stool. So as you can see, there's different colors, and if you look on the left hand side, it says placeable status. So red, building is blocked. Blue, anyone can pick up. Green, only you can pick up. Or yellow, you cannot pick up after placing. So this means that only I can pick up this item in this area, but you can see it turns blue. And once it turns blue, that means anybody can come over here, right click that bad boy, take it, and it's gone. She gone. Anybody can do that. Now, if you place it within the green area, somebody still could come over with a gun or a chainsaw, and they can start hacking the thing. It doesn't matter. Things are destructible. Houses are not. You can't destroy a house. So anything inside your house is safe. But outside of your house, it is kind of free game, but it just makes you just making them work harder for it. So again, make sure that the item you're going to place is the correct color. This goes along with fences, because you can see blue or green means only I can get it. Now anybody can get it. So that little bit of a difference right there can be the difference between you losing an entire fence line or losing items versus not losing items. So if somebody's not willing to, chainsaw that down, then they're not going to get it. Same thing goes with the planter box. Basically blue, green, just make sure your stuff is, secured in the right area. Now, when it comes to planting in these boxes, the plants themselves are not safe. So let's say I was going to plant a black lotus right here, right? I can plant that there, but when that grows, anybody can come and get it. So then that's where your fences come in, or if you get to them, the auto turrets. So that's why you want to have fences and gates and things like that down. Now, when you build your house, it is also going to ask you, because I know people like, well, what if I have a friend I want to play with? When you build your house, it's going to ask you for the color of your house and a 5-digit code. That 5-digit code is the key code that you need to give your friend in order to give them access to the stuff around your house. So keep that in mind. And then same thing with fences. There is a fence gate, and then there's a fence code lock gate. The fence code lock gate is what you would give to your friends, or a regular fence gate just locks by itself. So just keep that in mind when it comes to building. You want to make sure that you're building within an area that only you can pick up and not somebody else. A good example, I don't know, is let's go over to this guy's house and let's see if they built within their area. Can I go over here and pick this up? Nope. So as you can see, it says I'm trying to pick up somebody else's property, and all of those can't pick up any of those. Is there anything else sitting out anywhere? If somebody has a tent, you can pretty much always pick up stuff around a tent, because a tent doesn't give you the placement security. But like I said, you could still go in with a chainsaw and hack it down if you really wanted to. So congratulations, you got your house, you got some things placed. Well, how do you get some of the better stuff? How do you get a turret, right? You can loot a turret out of a box. You can pick up an auto turret just like you would out of any of the boxes, but you can buy them. In order to buy them, you do have to complete one of these compendiums. I believe it's one of them, because I think the other one's broken right now, but I'm almost positive the plant one is one for sure where you can get an auto turret, and this is probably the easiest one minus the Black Lotus, but the Black Lotus is now easy because I have a video that says how to get to the Black Lotus. But basically, once you get all these plants, you go over to Sergeant Lake's outpost, and we'll run over there, and I'll kind of show you what Sergeant Lake's outpost is. We were over there earlier, but I want to talk about it, and I want to stress the importance of Sergeant Lake's outpost. But that's how you're going to get access to, the auto turrets, or if you do the feathers, I believe you get access to the a couple of perks that lets you hold more ammo, and your weapons perform a little bit better, things like that. But Sergeant Lake's outpost is super important. But that's how you get to like the higher end stuff, higher tier stuff, is by collecting these items and making sure that you have them all done. So finally, we're going to talk about Sergeant Lake's outpost, because Sergeant Lake's outpost is so huge, it's so like important that you need to know about it, and you need to understand when people say, oh, go to the outpost, go to Sergeant Lake's outpost or whatever. The reason for that is because that's where you can buy like almost everything. Now, there's a couple ways to get there. You can take a boat. If you have plenty of money, you're not worried about money, you can take a boat there. Sergeant Lake's outpost, it's $1.99. I'm going to go ahead and just take the boat over there because like I have plenty of money. But I do know how to get there when just running around, because you can get everywhere on the map by just running around and swimming across rivers. So here I am, Sergeant Lake's outpost. This is the main outpost. So this vending machine right here is going to have your housing items. It's going to have all your housing fun stuff. These vending machines right here are going to pay for, like, you know, seeds and plants and things like that. I think these change randomly. Fishing stuff, so you can sell all your fish here. But then you can actually go ahead and talk to, I believe this person is the plant person. There's your auto defender right there. There's a farming hat that I believe gives you 40% harvesting yield. More plants, more seeds, things like that. And then I believe you're the hunter. Yes. So you can buy a shotgun, which is nice. You can buy a weapon. The ammo pouch is super nice. You can buy some ammo. You can buy the hunting hat, which is super nice. I haven't unlocked the fishing guy yet because I'm terrible luck with fishing right now. I don't even want to hear about it. It's terrible. But this is a huge main outpost that everybody's going to come to all the time to grab stuff, grab things. And you just need to know where it's at. Now, the last thing I want to touch on is the map. There is no map. There's no way to, like, hit M to pull up a map. The only way to do that is by getting a GPS. I think it's a satellite communicator. Yes, so a satellite communicator. This is my my main base, my main stash. You can stack up chests too, so it's like super handy. But the satellite communicator, essentially, you're gonna click it. It's gonna go into your equipment slot. You can actually have that and a gun, which is super nice, and actually a hat too. Do I have a hat in here? Yeah, so I have a farming hat, so I can equip that too. So you can equip a hat, a gun, and a communicator. And now you're gonna see that we have coordinates up at the top: 2 north, 9 west, and those change as you move along. That is really the only kind of mapping system there is. And typically people will be talking in the Discord about coordinates for different things. So if you're, like, trying to look for something, they'll usually give you coordinates. So it's always super handy to have that. And yeah, it's super nice. But hopefully these tips will help you get started. And one last thing before I forget, the containers. Make sure you place containers in your house, because I have seen a lot of people placing containers outside, which is all fine and dandy if you have fences and turrets and things like that. However, regardless of where a container is placed, even if it says, like, no one can pick it up, anybody can still access it. So just make sure you're aware of that, that outside containers can still be accessed regardless. So if somebody breaks through your fence, you don't have any of these up, they can still go through all your containers and take everything. That's, unfortunately, that's just how it works, and that's how it's going to continue to work, I imagine, because you've got a lot of space inside your house for containers. So there's a lot more to the game than just these things, but I wanted to give, like, a comprehensive list of, like, you know, hopefully giving you the right start, the right direction, so you kind of understand what's going on. I'm probably going to go ahead and take my turrets down because it seems like a lot of people are dying right here, and I kind of feel bad, but at the same time, this is a PvP game. Unfortunately, like, that's how it is, and that adds a lot more fun to it, because I'm going to tell you right now, if it wasn't PvP, if there's no shooting each other, if there's no worried about losing your stuff, you can get through almost all the content in the game very quickly. So the added PvP where you can lose your stuff, you know, takes a little bit longer to get stuff done. It's really nice and it feels really good. And that's why there's gonna be regular wipes on the server. But again, hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully these helped. If you think I missed any tips, leave them in the comments down below. And again, if you want to join our server, because it's running fantastic right now, and we've got 14 people playing, I don't notice any lag whatsoever. Make sure you join the Discord and look for the Longvinter chat. And there's a Longvinter server info, so you can hang out there, chat. It's a fantastic time. But yeah, thanks again for going out. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.